Hello everyone and welcome to a Screw Loose Homestead. Working on this little repair here on this kayak, and it's not went as well as I thought it would go. So I got a 2x3 hole, 2x5 hole. So we're just going to see how this really goes. Now I'm no professional at this, don't claim to be. I just want to float on the water. First we gotta clean this out. Somebody done repaired this once, and I don't know if they got it quite right. I don't know that I'll get it quite right. I'm gonna attempt it anyhow.
Right here, he is just cleaning it up and removing all the dust and debris from the hole so that when he applies the fiberglass resin later in the video, he'll have a smooth, clean surface for it to bond to.
So the way I obtained this boat is my brother is kind of a crafty crafter and a scrapper guy. And I happened about to a little salvage yard, a little scrap yard where you go sell metals and stuff. And happened to see this little boat over in the weeds. Found out how much it was. Decided if it'd be a good purchase or not. I knew it had damage on the bottom, but for the price I gave for it, next to nothing, who can beat a good deal? It might obtain a little work it goes with it, but we'll just see how it goes, and if I can get it to float, then it's worth what I paid for it. If not, my wife's going to use it as a flower bed. Win-win.
Just on a little moment note here, would it be in your head, in my head it'd be a good idea. We got all this extra fiberglass around here from couldn't you cut a square out, insert that, and then seal that? Wouldn't that do a better patch than just doing the fiberglass patch?
Mm-hmm. Women.
There you go.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the nearest spot that covers on one side. I need a pen, something to mark with, and I'll mark this here, straight across.
Scratch it with something. That screwdriver.
The engine can do something like that.
I know you was coming down the driveway, pals.
You did?
Yeah, I seen you a minute ago.
Doing any good, Rick?
Yes, so far.
Oh, you hiding you a piece.
Fiberglass.
Yeah.
It's my idea.
Oh, what's it? Hey, you got some good ideas.
I don't know why you act so shocked about it.
Oh. Where you cutting, buddy?
That's a little dangerous.
What's dangerous? That's all?
Yeah.
You want me to hold that piece for you and let you cut it? Huh?
No. I'd be afraid I'd get your hand.
Well, my hand will run from it. Go ahead. Well, you gonna put that right down in here?
As you can see, he could no longer use the handsaw on this project and had to move to a bigger saw. Please be careful when working with power tools.
Get me a piece of sandpaper. That's it, Jim.
Won't you cheer back?
Not yet. Just trim the ends off a little bit. That fits a lot better. And then again, I'm still sealing this in, so it's not really gonna matter if I get this exact. You just gotta get it in there. I'll use the fiber resin on it. Be using the fiberglass repair kit. It already stinks.
Said you need gloves.
It's because it's leaking.
It also says you need gloves.
And it's leaking.
How bad is it leaking?
I don't know when it started leaking, but it's pretty good. It's all over the bottle.
Day 2. And it looks like it's going to rain.
And it comes with a pretty good sized sheet. If that resin hadn't leaked all over it. Luckily it's still wet, so hopefully it doesn't harden on me before I get done. So it says 1 to 2 inches. Might do a little more since there's a little extra fabric than I need. Go grab a pair of scissors, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. See if we can get this cut out to where it needs to be. Okay. Read for the next step. Use this tray. I'm going to add a little resin. I better open this little hardener here. It says to open it with a pin. I got a little flathead screwdriver I'll use.
Man, they really did not want him to get into this.
I forgot my paintbrush. I'll be right back. Continue mixing this. Now guys, I've never used this, so I'm not real sure on the consistency, how it's supposed to feel. But I know I'm going to need a lot more than just a little bit. So I've just been mixing it in small quantities until I get what I'm going to guesstimate at that I would need just to do the first patch, I guess. First layer of the patch. Hey Amber, do you think I should put that thing down in there and then put that cloth over it? Or do the cloth and then that after I...
I have no idea, but...
Okay, let's see how this turns out here. I'm going to start a little brushing. I never did a fiberglass restore, so first time for everything, huh?
Hey, I don't know why you'd put it underneath it. Maybe put some of the resin underneath it, then put the piece down, then cloth and resin.
Well, I was going to put the cloth on. Okay, so you're saying put resin down.
I don't know. How does it work?
But I'm supposed to put this down and then the cloth. Okay. See, if I hadn't reread that, I'd have been lost. you hadn't mentioned it. So I'll put the resin on. The brush it on, it don't look too great. Wow, this stuff is absolutely hardened. Way faster than I anticipated. It's already gelling up in here. So I'm gonna have to hurry and get this on here. So if you quit moving it, it starts drying. Just figured that out. Yeah, that's already concrete in there. Let me go ahead and get my mesh on this where I do have it brushed over. I'm going to wait. I'm going to remix a little more and continue to mix it because I think I did the hardener right. And that's why it's sitting so fast. I tell you to wear gloves, but goodness. So I'll mix this. It told me to brush it on. Then as I started brushing, it dried. Because I wasn't mixing, I guess. Or wasn't moving it fast enough. Ooh, it gets kind of warm in there. I did sand this down to the best I could get it. There was just so much damage that I was worried that if I went any further it would weaken the fiberglass, the original part of the boat. So that's why I stopped where I did, how I did. Seems to be sticking really good. I said cure time was 8 to 10 minutes, so I'm assuming that's where I was taking in consideration that 8 to 10 minutes after you apply it. So actually it's 8 to 10 minutes while you're mixing it. And it starts, anytime in between that, it's starting to harden and set up. So I'll give this a few minutes. I'm gonna go change my gloves because I'm kind of stringy. And I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and pre-cut another piece of the fiber mesh. And haven't applied nothing to it yet. I'm just making sure it's gonna fit. So this looks like it's gonna fit quite well for what I think it is. And I was going to use this pre-cut piece of fiberglass that my wife had suggested, and it would have been an excellent idea had this been a little bit thinner. It's a thicker type, and it would cause a problem whenever I would try to set it down in there. So that's out of the picture for now, but I'm going to do a regular patch and see if that holds. If not, then I'll have to get a piece of thinner fiberglass and go with her idea. Fiber strings. Bars of rock. They sent me this little spatula with it, or a little putty knife, so maybe I can just spread that around. Maybe. It might not be pretty, I just don't want it to leak. And yes, I do plan on going back over this with some kind of, like a flex seal or a rhino liner or something to that nature that will bond after all this dries and all this takes flatback or seat, whatever how you want to call it. I'm going to put this on here, and hopefully before it dries all the way I can get that other patch on it and get it to adhere. Make sure I'm trying to get it everywhere I have this mesh. Get a proper seal. A lot better than it was then. I think I was using way too much hardener. Maybe I didn't use enough this time. I don't know. We'll see. And a lot of things you gotta get just right or they will not work. It's not like a spray and go kind of deal.
Baby, look up.
Looks like we might be in for a little rain. I might have to cover this and restart it whenever the rain's done.
The rain was moving in pretty quick, so we had to get what he needed done and get it under cover before the rain came down. Stay tuned for the next video to see if it sinks or floats.